Well, we've reached the end of another month. I guess I'll join in the fun by warning you all that it's gonna be May. Welcome back to the Gaily News, your fierce daily dose of LGBTQ plus news from around the globe. I'm your host, Elliot Bright, and better late than never, it's Thursday, April 30th. Today we're covering a fresh federal probe into Chicago area schools over LGBTQ plus lessons, Pennsylvania's razor-thin win for statewide anti-discrimination protections, a heartbreaking grant denial for a historic Florida LGBTQ plus center, a major legal victory for a gay Australian politician, and far-right mayors in France wiping out rainbow visibility. Here we go. First up, the U.S. Department of Justice is continuing and investigating into the Noble network of charter schools and dozens of suburban Chicago school districts over whether they teach lessons involving sexual orientation and gender identity, and whether parents are allowed to opt out. What started near the beginning of April is continuing now. This probe is, of course, part of the Trump administration's ongoing crackdown on LGBTQ plus inclusion in education. Next, in brighter news from the Keystone State, the Pennsylvania House narrowly passed House Bill 2103 on Tuesday by a razor-thin 101 to 100 vote. The bill, which started as a measure to block white supremacist housing communities, was amended to include the Fairness Act, adding explicit statewide protections against discrimination based on sexual orientation and gender identity in employment, housing, and public accommodations. It now heads to the Senate. Moving south to Florida, Palm Beach County officials denied a $308,000 federal grant request to repair the air conditioning and elevator at the Compass Community Center in Lake Worth Beach, South Florida's oldest LGBTQ+ nonprofit. The denial was explicitly tied to the state's new anti-DEI law signed by Governor Ron DeSantis, even though the law doesn't take effect until 2027. This leaves a vital center serving queer folks and people living with HIV sweltering in the Florida heat. Over in Australia, in a major win, the NSW Civil and Administrative Tribunal ruled today that former Member of Parliament Mark Latham must pay openly gay parliamentarian Alex Greenwich $100,000 in damages for unlawful homosexual vilification and sexual harassment. Latham has also been ordered to delete the offending social media posts and stop his attacks. Greenwich, who represents Sydney, stood strong against the bigotry, and justice was served. And finally, from France. Following up on some ongoing drama since last week, newly elected far-right mayors in the towns of Elne and Fachet-Toumenil have removed rainbow flags from town halls, repainted rainbow crosswalks white, and canceled scheduled pride events, all in the name of so-called neutrality. The moves, which began around April 23rd, have sparked outrage as blatant attacks on LGBTQ+ visibility. Just when I was looking to book a trip to France, too. Bummer. That's the latest from the last day, served fierce and unfiltered. Thank you so much for listening to the Gaily News. I'm Elliot Bright. Come back tomorrow for your next daily dose. Stay safe, stay loud, and protect each other out there. Eking in our podcast at the last minute today. We'll see you tomorrow, hopefully at an earlier time.